How does ayahuasca work? What happens? What does it do to us that it takes us to a place where suddenly things that are so difficult to understand, to heal, to move past in our waking consciousness become sometimes effortless to comprehend in that altered state of consciousness? Well, I don't pretend to know the secrets of the universe or of nature, nor the complex biochemistry that unfolds by taking this brew. However, I can share with you my experience around what happens and how it works. There's a few things, but one of them is that ayahuasca, what it does is it's a brew that has its own intelligence. That's why indigenous people refer to it as a spirit, as Mother Ayahuasca or Father Yahe in Colombia. And it's a brew that has very high amounts of energy because of the plants that are combined and the way that these two plants interact with each other. It has a lot of energy. So imagine that your whole system is a piece of land. There are some trees somewhere, there's some grass somewhere else, some parts is a desert, some parts have more water, right? Imagine that you're an ecosystem. Now, if everything is in harmony and in balance with everything else, there is health, there is vitality, there is clarity, there is joy. Like peace, joy, and bliss are a natural consequence of a system that is in balance. If you look at kids, their system is still in balance, unless in specific cases where they're born with deficiencies. But usually you look at a child and they are happy, they're vibrant, they're energized. And usually as we age, it's a downward slope. You look at someone that is old and they're moving slow, even their bodies are more rigid, whereas the kid's body is often very flexible. There's many reasons for this, but for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on the fact that a child is closer to factory settings. We come out of the factory clean, beautiful, like you buy a phone and you peel the top layer and everything's impeccable, and then maybe a few months later, a few parties later, or a few drops later, it's dirty, it's stained, the screen is cracked, maybe it's lagging, it's working slowly, who knows? So the same thing happens in our system. If there is balance, if there's harmony, joy, peace, happiness, connection are inevitable. It's our nature to be like that, to be connected with the land around us, with our families, our friends, our beloveds, to be connected with ourselves, to be in peace, in joy, the way that a child naturally is. But something happens. Trauma, society, parents, heartache, illness, many things can alter this balance. So let's say if there's a river flowing through your body, then suddenly a tree fell, and maybe some stones were placed where they shouldn't have been placed, and maybe somebody else came and started throwing some garbage elsewhere. And then from a strong caudal, a strong flow that was coming throughout, suddenly at the beginning it starts very strong, but by the time it comes to the other side of the land, you're just getting drops. Why? Because it's getting stuck all throughout. So there's barely any water coming the way that it should be coming. When we do self-development, or when you do, let's say, yoga, meditation, all this kind of work, what you're doing is you're paying attention at where are the stones, where are the trees, where is the garbage. So I'm gonna go there and remove stone by stone. And this is useful and necessary. However, it takes a long, long time, especially if the blockages that you have are huge. What ayahuasca does is it scans your body. It recognizes where things are not flowing the way that they could be flowing, the way that they should be flowing. And then instead of going stone by stone, it increases the caudal, the energy, the volume of water at the core. So once that starts blasting, if it's strong enough and if you're open enough, it can, the sheer intensity with which the water flows can clear the paths and restore harmony in many ways. Of course, there's still going to be some debris, some things to pick up. That's normal. But ayahuasca works by amping up, by increasing the amount and the quality of the energy present in your system. Once there's more energy flowing through your system, there's deeper awareness. Because to be aware, you need energy. This is why when you're tired, somebody can be speaking to you and you can barely remember or think about what they're saying. You can't comprehend things. When you're exhausted, if somebody tells you to memorize a phone number or to create something, to paint something, maybe to work, to do an activity that requires attention and awareness, you're going to do it very poorly. Driving, it's a simple example. So awareness requires energy, because the more aware you want to be throughout the day, the more energy you need to have available. And the way that we live today, the way that we eat, the water that we receive in our faucets, the lack of movement, most of us spend a lot of our day just laptops or stuck to these. So there's many ways in which we are deprived of energy from childhood. Eating poorly, walking, like having a poor posture, sitting poorly, lack of meditation, lack of reflection, lack of connection with nature, many things. So it is that which creates that fogginess in our mind. It is that which creates that confusion of, I don't know what to do about my relationship, about my health, about my anxiety, about my fears. It is that which creates those blockages. And of course, there are natural ways of raising that awareness. Yoga, meditation, therapy sometimes. A lot of different exercises, different paths. Ayahuasca is a path that is very strong. It's not for everybody, but it's very strong. And by boosting your awareness, by making you hyper aware, by boosting your energy, suddenly you see things clearly. So instead of seeing life half asleep, you're fully awake and attentive, and therefore things become very evident. You realize, oh, wow, what am I doing in this relationship? This is not good for me. I'm completely misaligned. Or maybe the opposite, wow, like it's been me all along. I was responsible and I couldn't see how unconscious I was being. Or you can see how your body was responding to the way you were thinking and the way you were feeling. And therefore you had certain diseases show up. Or perhaps you see that your anxiety, your fear, your insecurity was rooted in something that you may not even remember had happened. But now that you see clearly and have more awareness, these things can come up. More clarity comes, and clarity breeds transformation. So how does ayahuasca work? Well, it's a brew that has a lot of energy in it, that heightens the levels of energy in your body, guides also how that energy moves, because it has a spirit to it that is not just giving you energy and letting you do whatever. It's a spirit that has a benign intention with you, holds your hand and takes you to places where you can learn about yourself, heal, transform. It takes you to that place where there's a lot of stones, a lot of trees fallen, and helps you do the work. Assuming you went to a place where ayahuasca was served in a pure way by people who are experienced and trustable. But it gives you clarity, and out of that clarity, you can let go of what no longer serves you. Out of that clarity, you can stop running in circles. Out of that clarity, you can transform the way that you are, letting go of who you used to be. So I hope this creates a little bit of understanding of what happens in your energy system when drinking ayahuasca. There's way more for a single video, but I will share in the future. If you're interested in drinking medicine with the people that I drink medicine with, there's links below for you to come to our center. Otherwise, I wrote a book. It's the compilation of a lot of lessons that came from plant medicine. You can also find the link below. See you next time.